For today's Cyber CEO episode,
it's amazing. It's really, really nice. She definitely keeps me on track with my business as well. So it's been a really great experience with her. My business wouldn't be where it is. My life wouldn't be where it is. It worked out because I love my Cyberbacker. So thank you. I love you.
welcome to Cyber CEO, wherein we talk about how our Cyberbackers helped our Cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. Cyber CEO is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details. Another awesome day here at Cyberbacker. My name is Jello. We're back with another episode of Cyber CEO. And of course, we have a very special guest on the show. Mayu, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing wonderful. Thank you very much for asking and for dropping by. I know you're very busy and have a lot of things to do. Really appreciate your time here today. Now, to start things off, to let you know, we have a lot of listeners who are business owners, just like yourself. So I need your help. Can you tell us something about yourself and your business?
Well, I am a real estate agent, and I've been in the business just over 2 years now in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. And yeah, we're just plugging away here.
Now, how long have you been in the business, by the way?
It's only been about 2 years. I was a stay-at-home mom previously, and about just over 2 years ago, I decided to make the leap into the working world and decided to get my real estate license.
There we go. Good to know. So 2 years in the business. Now, how about working with someone virtual, though? Just like what you're doing with your Cyberbacker. Is this something, is this your first time doing something like this?
Oh, yeah, 100%. And it's amazing. It's really, really nice. I mean, she's an assistant, but she definitely keeps me on track with my business as well. So it's been a really great experience with her.
Good to know that you're having a great experience with your Cyberbacker. Now, before we talk more about your experience with Cyberbacker, how did you find out about us in the first place? Who told you about us?
So at the time, I'm not with the brokerage anymore, but at the time I was with 𝗙𝗲𝗋𝗶𝗹, and the I think she's the CEO now, is 𝗦cie𝗰𝗶𝗹. And I know she's like a investor or partner in Cyberbacker. And I think that's how they got, Cyberbacker got all of our names, and just, Diana from Cyberbacker reached out, and we just had a good conversation and sold me on the benefits of working with Cyberbacker. So
there we go. So how long have you been partnered with Cyberbacker?
I want to say it's been almost a year, or maybe even over a year. I can't remember.
Okay, so a little over a year, probably then more than a year with Cyberbacker. Now, talk to me more about your Cyberbacker that you've been working with. Then talk to me about tasks. What are the things that you ask your Cyberbacker to help you with on a daily basis?
So when I started talking to Diana at first, when she was asking me if I had a need for a Cyberbacker, and I know that Cyberbacker provides all sorts of services, transaction coordinator and all that stuff. But specifically for me, I needed help with my social media. And so I was very particular in looking for someone who was creative and had kind of that social media background that, I want to say I'm pretty savvy, but, working with Mitch, my Cyberbacker, she's definitely way more than I am, which I am grateful for. So, but that's pretty much how I've been utilizing her is social media stuff with like on all the platforms that I use. And she, she also does all my newsletters and curates content for me. And she just so just more like my marketing manager, so to speak.
So marketing, social media, that's the main role of your Cyberbacker then. Now, how did that start during the beginning? Because I know social media is something that really represents you, yourself, and your business, of course. And how did you create a system working with someone who's virtual, who's not in the same country, not in the same office, who's thousands of miles away from you, to work on your social media presence?
Well, it started with the interview process of those are some of the questions that I did ask the Cyberbacker applicants is, how comfortable are you on social media? What is your favorite form? What do you use on, your own time? Like, do you look at Instagram? Do you look at Facebook? Do you look at TikTok? Like, so that just, and, my cyberbacker is much younger than I am. So it was important that they were kind of more up to date, that they were active on their own, not for business, but on their own. They knew how to navigate these platforms. And so for me, it was like their comfort level with the technology and the social media, and that they were personally using it for themselves, but also the creativity of, because I can go to Canva and create something, but to have somebody else with a very creative eye make it better, like that's what I wanted. So that I specifically was looking through their portfolio of some of their posts that they had done for other clients, and just kind of basing it on that. And so that Mitch has been amazing.
There we go. And so really, during the beginning, really find that person that would match your personality and your needs in the business then. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. And who was also, for me, like I said, personally for me, like working with me, I think I'm pretty laid back in terms of like, as long as you get the work done, it doesn't matter how you get it done. But I needed someone who was organized, and Mitch was like way beyond my wildest like expectations. So it's been great.
There we go. Now, you also mentioned about the hiring process that Cyberbacker offers earlier. So I want to know more about that. How was the experience there? Communicating with our career backer team here with Cyberbacker, and also interviews on Zoom, back-to-back interviews on Zoom. How did that experience go for you?
Well, to be quite honest, Mitch wasn't my first Cyberbacker in this process. I've only worked with Cyberbacker, but my first interview process didn't go as great. I thought I had vetted someone who I chose based on the creativity of his portfolio, and he seemed okay. He seemed a little nervous, but I figured that just the interview process, virtually, thousands of miles away. But then when I did end up hiring him, like it ended up not going well at all. Like he didn't do any work, and he just stopped responding. And so I, absolutely reached out back to Diana, and I was like, "What's going on? Like, this is not okay." And they immediately fixed it. They set up within like a few days, had lined up several more applicants, and just what kind of zoomed through the interview process, and that's where I found Mitch, and she's been amazing. So it is interesting because I was a stay-at-home mom prior to this, and so I was never in a position to be in a hiring position. So, but it is helpful to have. I mean, Cyberbacker did give me some, questions, ideas to ask your Cyberbacker. But like I said, I had a very specific need for what I wanted my Cyberbacker to do. So it was important to me to ask, the specific questions about social media and all that stuff. But it worked out because I love my Cyberbacker.
There we go. Probably wasn't just meant to be earlier with the first Cyberbacker, but of course the goal of Cyberbacker is here to get it right the first time, all the time. But again, things happen, of course, and that's why we're always here to support, no matter how bad it is, no matter how good it is. Cyberbacker is always here to make sure that you're having a great experience, and it's just great to hear that you're having a wonderful time now with Mitch, your current Cyberbacker. Now, I want to know more and dive into more about the relationship that you have, the partnership that you have with Mitch. Being it your first time, we have a lot of listeners again who might want to jump into the virtual world. So, what pieces of advice would you give someone who's diving into the virtual world for the first time, working with a Cyberbacker?
The interview process is important, I think, and beyond the scope of work and their portfolio, I think definitely asking the right questions and knowing yourself and how you work, and how you, what kind of manager, so to speak, are you, and what kind of worker do you need? Do you need some, for me, I think I'm more laid back. So for me, I needed someone who was more organized and, who was better at the stuff than I was. And to be able to recognize that you're not the expert, and they may have more experience, and to give, like I said, just knowing who you are and what your strengths and weaknesses are, and finding the complementary match to that so that you can work really well together, I think is probably the best because personalities matter and how the work ethics and, organization and all that stuff really matter. So if you're a type A personality and you want everything to be, all the I's dotted and the T's crossed and whatever, then you're going to want someone who's just as passionate about all that stuff.
100% agree with you there, especially the point that you made earlier, the complementary match. It doesn't really have to be the match that you have the same personalities, because you could butt heads if you have the same personalities, and they won't be helping your weaknesses too. So really finding that complementary match. I love that. Now, another thing that I want to know is, again, working with someone virtual, we get this question a lot. How do I communicate properly with my cyberbacker if we start working together? Now, how important is communication in this virtual partnership, Mayu?
It's super important because otherwise, because you're not seeing them all the time. So to be able to communicate with them and express, exactly what you want is paramount. I know for Mitch and I've signed up to a video. I don't even know what it is. It's called Loom, Loom. And it's fantastic because you can share your screen and then you pop up on the screen and you can do everything. And so for both of us, Mitch and I both use it. So when texting doesn't work or I need to show her something, I just, instead of getting on a Google Meet, whatever, I just, video it whenever, maybe even off hours for her. I do the Loom, and then I'm like, here, this is what I'm talking about. It's really hard to describe in words, but here's the video of it. This is what I'm thinking. And then I can video it whenever on my own time, and then she can watch it on her own time, or her work time. And then she can understand, what it is. But I know for me, it's part of the interview process is I need someone who's not afraid to speak up. Who's not afraid of me as their boss, and to be hey, can you repeat that? I didn't understand it. And I would much rather have someone ask me a million questions to get it right than to just make the assumption and then be oh my God, this is not at all what I wanted, So I encourage Mitch to do that. I'm hey, if you don't understand, call me. Don't think that you're bothering me. Just call me because I'd rather you get it right the first time. So
avoid mistakes as well. And I think that's a good suggestion right there. Just opening those lines of communication, and of course the comfortability between you and your cyberbacker. But I do believe that also takes time, right? And as they say, you have to continue on building the relationship through communication. Am I right?
Oh, I talk to Mitch every single day. So, and, several times a day. And, sometimes, she's very understanding that if she is only working part-time for me, but so it's she only has a 4-hour block with me. So sometimes I don't get to talk to her until the very last minute. And I'm I'm so sorry, I was in meetings, but, she knows I'll get back to her. It's every form of communication. We do texting, we do video, videos, and, we do meet a couple, once or twice a month, as a Google Meet. And, sometimes we talk on the phone. So communication is super important.
Very, very important in any kind of partnership, may it be virtual or not. Now, seems to me you've already found your perfect partner, your perfect cyberbacker in Mitch, who obviously is going to be listening once we have this episode uploaded online. So I was wondering, before we end today, do you have any special messages or a quick shout out you'd like to give out to your cyberbacker, Mitch?
Oh my God, absolutely. Mitch is amazing. Mitch, I love you. My business wouldn't be where it is. My life wouldn't be where it is without your help. And I so appreciate so much what you've done for me. So thank you. I love you.
We're looking forward to seeing the continued success and, of course, the growth of this partnership all throughout the years. And again, Mayu, thank you very much for dropping by today. I had fun talking to you.
Likewise. Take care.
Thank you for listening to our daily dose of CyberCEO. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.